All Things Plastics, where we dive deep into beauty, body transformations, and the stories behind the surgery. Today, I'm joined by the one and only Ashley Marie Kelsey, 38 years young, a proud mom, content creator, and TV personality from Connecticut. You may recognize her from The Real World and The Challenge, where she brought both brains and boldness to the screen. Today, she's opening up about her personal journey with plastic surgery, including her breast aug in Los Angeles. From motherhood to media and making empowered choices about her body, Ashley brings honesty, humor, and insight into what it's like to balance it all, with a little help from aesthetics. Let's welcome Ashley Marie Kelsey to the podcast.
What an intro. I couldn't have wrote it better myself.
Hi, baby. And if anyone doesn't know, me and Ash go way back. So having you on the pod, I'm so excited to drop some real tea because I know you give it, girl.
So the intro questions for this, I was laughing so hard because Jalen brought me to my surgery. She knows exactly where I and I was laughing because I was like, girl, you're the one who was there. I woke up calling your name, but it was just funny to me. I was like, no, I get it. It's for all the guests. And I was like, this is too good.
You know, it's too good. My girl, Ash. So really quick to give a backstory, because I always say oh, my friend got her breast done first and then hers looked so good. She had no issues. And I was like, well, I might just get one too. And that person is Ashley.
It was these movies.
Yes. So we'll give a background of how we met and when we met. Well, back in my day, I was my little influencer moment. Joined.
Obviously, you have your career, but you still dabble and you have your podcast. So
yeah, but this was where photo shoots were the thing, the King Kylie era. It was crazy. And
would meet up with 6 outfits and go find a street to shoot on. And
yes. I started working for Corona, and I was a Corona ring girl, and that means we would do the boxing events and hold up the sign. And I met Ashley during doing Corona ring boxing, and we became great friends and started hanging out outside of work and modeling and all that. And then we also did Toyo Tires together. So we were both Toyo Tire girls the same year, and that was really fun. And you got your breast before Toyo or during? Because I got mine right after we got done with Toyo.
Remember we had our photo shoot and we got signed and then I was like, I'm getting my boobs done. So they already took our sizing for our uniform and I was like, so I hope they fit, because it was the photo shoot was literally, remember, 2 weeks later, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my boobs are huge now. I mean,
no, I remember you had fresh titties at the photo shoot, and I have photos. I was taking content of you on my phone, and I have those photos.
I know, and I loved them from the jump. But backstory really quick, if I can say it, I had wanted my boobs done since high school. No joke, it was something that I always wanted, and I feel like I gave it enough time that I didn't get them done until my early 30s. So I went through the ups and downs of wanting them, not wanting them, thinking I should, thinking I'm cool with what I have, I don't need them anymore. But when I went back to wanting them again, in my mind I was like, it's a wrap, I gotta get them done. I've been wanting them for years, so it wasn't one of those impulse decisions. I thought it through and I was obsessed. I love that.
And that's so funny because I have horrible memories sometimes, but I didn't remember being in high school I want my breasts done. It was literally, all I remember is you got them done. It was so easy to get them done. The price was right. Yeah. You had no issues. And I didn't research a doctor. I said, oh, I'm just going to go with who Ash went. And you were the main source of me getting them done. I don't know if you wouldn't have got them done, I don't know if I would have got them done at the same time, or maybe it would have happened later. It probably would have, but I was fresh out of nursing school. I was the end of Toyo Tires. I made money that year. And I was like, you know what? My last paycheck from being a Toyo Tire girl, I'm going to go and get a fresh.
Well, I always say this. I say, don't go in debt to do it. I mean, if you want to, by all means, I'm not going to tell you not to, but I don't advise to, make sure you have your funds and your finances in order. Let's not you know what I mean?
Because we were making really good money doing Toyo Tires. We would travel all over the U.S., do so many shows, so many appearances, so many poster signings. I had the funds, exactly. I wasn't living on my own yet. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna gift myself. I got a new car and I got some new boobs.
And for me, I felt if I don't do it now, because I was, I think I was 33 at the time, maybe even 32. I don't know. I was beginning of my 30s. I can't even remember at this point. I'm mom at this point. But I was like, if I don't do it now, I'm not going to do them. What's the point? When I'm I got to get them when I wish I got them earlier. Looking back at it now, I wish I had them maybe 10 years earlier. But regardless, it was such a good decision for me because I love them. And I remember the doctor saying, Ashley, I've never gotten so many, people that have come in from seeing yours.
No, Ashley. It was Ashley. It was me. Then it was my sister Alexis. And then it was Taylor. Taylor was going to go to our doctor, but then she ended up going to someone else. But it was back to back. All the girls were lined up getting breast dogs.
I mean, and we all loved them. And it was just the moment. In that time.
And wait, I'm having flashbacks now. Do you remember me while you were recovering in bed? I think Taylor was out filming for a show. You were helping me study for my nursing final.
Oh, I remember everything. I remember even when I came out of surgery and I was like, where's Jalen? I need her. And it was funny. You're like, you're asking for me and not even Taylor, who's like your roommate. I was like, because I knew that, you know, Jalen is like, she's always been a caring person. She's always like taking care of us. I was like, I need her here right now. Because I will say, when I came out of it, like for you and you got yours, I was so impressed with how fast you like bounced back in like 2 seconds. I was like, she's like already in the gym already. Me, I was like,
yeah.
soaking up every moment of getting like catered.
That's
to, you know?
so funny. I remember just being in your apartment in West Hollywood we were, and I was like, I have to leave tomorrow at like 5 a.m. Ash. I have to make it to class at 6:30. I have a test. Like, you have to help me study. And to really think about it, you were my first plastic surgery recovery patient. Like, if going back, that's crazy.
I would call you again when I get these babies replaced, because I've been thinking about it. I'm gonna be like, Jalen, let's go. You gotta come to my house. I need you.
That's so funny. Like, when you really sit down and like think about it, you're like, holy shit, wait, Ash started it all. So I'm so excited to get into this interview and talk about everything. Now, for those of us who might not know Miss Ashley Marie Kelsey, give us a little intro from where you're from, what do you do, and how life has been lately.
Actually, currently live in Connecticut, which is where I'm from, but I did live in Los Angeles for many, many years, and I loved it out there. I started to dabble into television right after college. I did a Real World season, which then just the train kept rolling into the challenge, and I actually just recently went and filmed a new show, and it aired.
Yes.
It aired. I think it was wrapped about like 2 weeks ago. And it was so nice to kind of like get back out there and back into television. But prior to that, I actually was content creator. I didn't even know that world existed until I met Taylor. I remember I was like, oh, you make money doing this? Like, I need to do that. And now that I'm a mom, it allows me the ability to stay home with her and like still make money and like be able to provide. And I'm so blessed that I can even do that. So that's what I'm currently doing. So if you are someone that, you know, is either a single mom, a parent, like, loves humor, loves just like relatable shit, because that's like all I'm about at this point. I'm like, I just need to laugh every single day.
I need Ashley. I know like filming and being a mom and all that stuff is hard, but you need to get on YouTube and do at least short form videos, like 10-minute clips, like sitting down and talking about real life shit, because you are so good at it. And I even have been on Ashley's ass for the past like 3 years about make a mom podcast. Just do it already. Like, just because Ashley, you're so good.
Go get her. You will do it. Jalen will say, I'm going to do this. And she just does it. Like, and I'm like, I want to do this. And I'm like, I want to do this. I want to do this. And she just sits there and sits there. I'm not as much of a risk taker. And honestly, that's why I love having friends like you that will push me to even like consider doing something that's bigger than what I even think I'm capable of. I think it's good to have that like dynamic.
Definitely. Now, really quick, you did mention you were on the Real World and the challenge. You need to let these girls know that you won the challenge, girl.
You know, I forget about that. Yeah, I did. The first season I did, we filmed in Turkey and it ended in Africa, which is really cool because at that time I had never like traveled internationally, and it was like such a cool experience at a young age. And we ended up winning, which was like God bless, because I did the whole thing with my ex, and that is like not the easiest thing to do. And I was like, if I don't win this shit, it's not even gonna be worth it. But it was worth it. We won, and that gave me the ability to, you know, do some things in my life. I moved to New York City, pursued modeling, and then ended up in Los Angeles, where I met all my beautiful friends and had like the best time. It was like the best decade, you know, of my life, and it was perfect for that moment. It was really fun, and I came really close to winning this last one too. I mean, I was there for almost the entire time.
I know.
I was very disappointed because it was definitely one that I could have won again. You know, like when you go into something, you're like, yes, this is a possibility.
Yeah.
You go into something, you're like, it's far-fetched. I don't really know if I could do it, but I'll try. You know, this was like something that was attainable, and I was so pissed. You know?
Yeah. You did so good from being off TV for a while and just focusing on your social media and your content. I mean, you did well. I mean, it's tough stepping back into reality TV, a competitive world, after you just give birth. You're a stay-at-home mom. You're a content creator. Like, it's a whole different world.
As a mother, and I know a lot of people can relate to this, you become just so consumed with your children and your child, and you really just push yourself so low down on the totem pole, like you were like in the dirt, you know, and you just don't think about yourself at all. And it really took something big like that for me to be able to let go of my like restraints I had, you know. No one can do it like me. No one can do this with Snow. Like, I can watch her better. I can put, you know, like that was my mentality. And it's just a mother thing. And like being in a position where I'm on a show where I have very limited contact. I have no control over what's going on back home, and to be gone for a month and like
crazy.
I don't think if that happened, it would have put me in a mindset of being able to actually go out there and do other things now. And like we're about to have a girls' weekend. It's my first girls' weekend. Like since my daughter's about to be 4, and I would have never like in the past. I feel like that's something that I would never even consider. And I feel like finally doing something for myself allowed me to be in a totally different mindset. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And you know, I can preach to you all the time, like, Ash, you need a little break. I mean, someone who doesn't have kids, but I know it's a totally different world when you do have kids. It's easier said than been done, you know, on my end.
I mean, I think it's just not relatable yet because, you know what I mean? Because you don't have a
Yeah,
child. And once you do, you really understand like that feeling. But at the same time, it's needed. Those breaks are so needed and you don't even realize it until you take it and you're like, holy shit. Like that was the nicest reset I've ever had. And like, you don't even know you need to hit that button, you know, because you're just so consumed. It's great. I love being a mom. It's my favorite thing in the world. I think I was definitely put on this earth to be a mother, but I can do other things too.
Yes. And, you know, everyone needs a good reset in life. Definitely. Now, let's talk plastics and start to get into that journey. Because, I mean, I know that you got a boob job. I cared for you while you got a boob job, but I never asked like, hey, Ash, what's the real reason or blah, 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 you know? So it'll be exciting to hear on my end. What year did you get your breast done? 19, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And like I had said earlier, it was something that I had thought about for so many years, like literally a decade. I was thinking about doing this. I am not an impulse person. Like I'm going to think things out. I mean, some things I'm impulse, but definitely not something like this.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, because I was comfortable with how I was prior. I was like, you know what? I'm comfortable. I kind of like my body. And I was like, maybe I don't want them. But then when I went back and my mind went back there, and it wasn't because I lived in Los Angeles and I was seeing things, because you know, I didn't give a shit. I drove up to the Beverly Hills Hotel with my Honda Civic and did not care that anybody had any type of car. You know what I mean? Like
I forget we would go to the Beverly Hills Hotel. I forgot about that.
Me, I knew it was something that I truly desired for myself. And then I was like, you know what? I have the money to do it. I'm just going to go for it. And I literally made that decision like this. And it was such a great decision because it gave me so much confidence. Like it put me in a totally different mindset. And I was like, damn, I wish I had done this earlier because I was in my 30s. And I literally not even a year and a half later. So I was like, damn.
I know. I like to say, how did you find our doctor for us? Because back in the day, I was ignorant and did not do my own research, which I always tell you guys, do not do that.
Yeah, so my girlfriend Heather Ray was working there, and that's how I found him.
Forgot about Heather.
Yeah, so she was the one who was like, this is where you should go, and I love Dr. Sai. He is so sweet. Like his demeanor is exactly what I need. I don't need a doctor that's direct and tells me XYZ. Like I need that nurturer. Like I want to come in and I want you to baby me. You know what I mean? Like I don't want it to feel like a transaction. I want it to feel like a friend. Like we're talking, and that's the vibe he gave me. And he didn't push anything on me, and I think that's so important. Like he was just like, what size do you want? You know what I mean? Like I was like, I want it to look very natural, and this is like what I'm going for. And I showed pictures, and he was like, cool, this is what I think, but let's see what you want. And like it wasn't one of those things I was like, no, you want this, but you really want this. Because you know some doctors are like that. Like this is what you think you want, but no, this is exactly what I think you want. And it's like, no, that's not what I'm telling you. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And it's so funny because we both got our surgery in West Hollywood. Dr. Sai that time was working out of a surgery center in West Hollywood. Yes. And a couple years later, I think it was about 2 years later, I was working for my doctor, Dr. William Rahal in Beverly Hills. And guess who walks through the door? Dr. Sai. And I'm literally in the operating room and I look at him and he looks at me and he's like, Jalen? And I'm like, so he left West Hollywood and he came to work under my doctor at his plastic surgery center. Whoa. And joined our team. And Dr. Sai also does rhinoplasties and septorhinoplasties, but he also does breast dogs as well. And I go, oh my God. And he's like, holy shit. He's like, how are you? And I was like, I'm great. He's like, you work for Dr. Rahal? I was like, yeah. Such a small world that I started working for Dr. Sai like 2 years later because he was part of our surgery center. I should text him and be like, Dr. Sai, I need you to come on the pod right now.
I know, honestly, you do, because that is such a like full circle moment. That's crazy that you like randomly.
I'm like, he saw me on the operating room, like tits out, and like now I'm working for him in the operating room.
He's just like such a good man. Like I just love everything about him.
He is. He's a great doctor, a great guy.
Yeah, people with that energy. Like they have to have good energy. Plus I actually like really liked his before and afters. Like I thought everything that he did fit everybody's bodies, you know. I thought that he didn't go too big, and those were very important things for me. So I think with like plastic surgery is knowing exactly what you want and sticking to that is kind of important, because you can be easily influenced, but
definitely
you might not look good on me. So you can't always just go off of like the picture that you're like, this woman, I love her boobs. Okay, well, you don't have the waist like she does, or you're not
exactly. Yes. Do you remember, I know we got a couple discounts. Do you remember how much you paid in West Hollywood when you got your breasts done?
I paid $6,500, but I let him use before and after.
I did, but Ashley, you know, got a bigger discount because she's Ashley Marie Kelsey, TV personality. No. I paid $8,500.
No, I didn't get a discount because of me. I got a discount because I let him use my before and after pictures, because he's like, I know they're going to be great. Would you?
Girl, me too.
Did he have to do more than just an implant for you, or did he just do an implant?
No, I obviously got a bigger implant than you, but he did say, he was like, you do need a lift. And I was like, I'm not getting a lift right now. You're smoking shit. I said, throw the puppies in and we're going to keep it moving. I was not getting a lift at 20. I mean, I probably should have, thinking back now more than I know, but this was before I was in plastic surgery. I was like, I'm not getting this big anchor lift. Like, we're not doing it. Like, I came in for a breast aug.
Yeah.
I didn't come in for a breast lift. Like, I was stressed about it. So I was like, I don't care if they hang a little bit lower. That's fine. I'll figure it out later in life. So, but yeah, all you did was throw the implant in. I went under the muscle, but I obviously got bigger implants than you. That's the only difference.
I did. I think I got 250 cc's, which is like so small. Like thinking back on it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like
I got 405s.
What the fuck? That is one thing
I know.
I will say once the swelling goes down, like I still loved mine. I still thought they could actually drop a little bit, like even once they had, because I did pick a good size, but I'm like, oh, I could have definitely went a little bit bigger. So I always suggest like maybe look into a tiny bit bigger, because then that swelling does go down. It will be a more natural look, which I was looking for. So I was happy with it. But some people want that boom, you know, and like if you don't go big enough, you're not going to get that.
And yours, you know, like they did get pretty small. Even you showed me after like a year and a half, and I was like, oh my God, like even after childbirth, they were like a little bit smaller. I was like, that's crazy.
But the thing about what happened after I had Snow is my boobs got so big when I was pregnant. They were like 2 times the size that once I got back down to my normal size, like I feel like there's just more skin to them now. Not that they like look much different. So instead of them being like boom on my chest, like just sitting there pretty like all the time, just throw on a shirt, they are like a little lower. And so I actually recently was thinking either 2 routes. I'm like, listen, do I want to just get new ones and get like a little bit bigger of a size? Because I feel like if I put in like half a cup bigger, it would like fill in that space and look
fill in.
Yeah. I'm like, or do I take them out? And then I was like, no, I think I would hate my body if I took them out. Like, or I wouldn't like what it looked like. Do you know what I'm saying? But then I heard of something. Else, I don't know what you think of this, because I guess this is under the knife. But when they take the fat,
if you say internal bra lift, okay, yes, a fat transfer to the breast.
Yeah. So
the only thing is, yes, you can do fat transfer to the breast, but like anywhere you transfer fat, majority of the fat will die. So they're going to look great for the first couple months. They're going to be full. And guess what? After a couple months, the fat's going to die. We can't really tell you if it's 70%, 80%. So sometimes a lot of girls have to go back because more fat died than we thought. And they have to go to 3 procedures, which cost more money, more time, more stress. And it's almost like, I mean, look, it works for some girls. If you want a subtle look, great. That's what we recommend for most fat transfers. If you just want a little subtle look, a little fullness, great, do a fat transfer. But if you want some cleavage, if you want some definition, you might as well just do the implant.
And I will say with mine too, like after a few months when they, they settle and they look great, like so many people didn't even know I had a boob job. They were just thought like my boobs
No,
like,
you can't tell.
And I think that's why, like, I remember Dr. Sai was like, I've had like 6 patients come just from your Instagram pictures because they love yours so much. And I was like, it just happened to fit my body so well. And I think that's why I fell in love with them so much, because I just picked the right size and like they happened to look really great on me. Like it could have went a different way. Maybe if I picked a different doctor, I don't know, but I was very happy with them.
And, for a lot of girls having a subtle look, they don't want anything crazy. Going from a very flat chest to 200 cc's is good enough for them and they love it. Like they don't need 400, 500 cc's. Like, so a lot of people,
people when they meet me in person are like, oh, like obviously I look small, but they don't realize like I am really small.
Yeah.
My waist is very small. So like anything else would have really like sat up. You know what I mean? It would have been too much. And I wasn't looking for that look. I was looking for like a more natural vibe. So
yes. And you definitely,
I'm like,
yes.
No eyeshadow, natural hair. Like, you know what I mean? That's like my vibe. So like,
that's Ashley.
Like,
that's her vibe.
100 cc boobs. Like that just wouldn't have
Big ol' Pamela Anderson titties, and then it's like natural Ash. Now, do you remember your recovery process? Like, how did you feel about it? Did you feel like you were properly prepared? How was that process for you?
I think my recovery was a little more rough, but I'm also like dumb and didn't take like any of my pain meds because I was like, I don't need to take pain meds, And
I remember that. You were like, you were not thugging it out because you were laying in that bed fighting for your life. And I was like, Ash, maybe just take half and then we could take Tylenol. And you were like, no. And I was like, okay, sis.
Same thing with having Snow. They were like, here, you can have. And the first day I did, because I couldn't even walk. I was like, I can't even get to the toilet unless I like take these meds right now. But I was like, after a day or two, I'm like, I don't need them anymore. Like, I don't want to have that kind of medication in my body, especially when I'm breastfeeding, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why did I go through all that pain for no reason? Like, I could have just like drugged myself a little bit. But
you live and you learn, sister.
Took a little longer. I think working out felt very odd to me because when they're under the muscle, like you feel that muscle moving and it's like the strangest feeling in the world. So I remember that was like an adjustment that I had to go through, but also like same for you. It's like, we have to get back to work. We got to do shit. Like we can't just be sitting around. So it's like, I think after like 3 or 4 days, I was like, okay, I think I can go and do some stuff, but I do have a story for you because I don't know if you remember this.
Probably not. So tell me.
When I was coming back from getting my checkup, guys, so I had to go down to the office to get like your checkup. And I think that's a week after, right? Or maybe a couple days. I don't know.
You do like a 3-day, 1 week.
It was the 3-day one. I drove down there, whatever. I'm coming back home and I get to a red light. So I stop. It's like right at the corner behind, like near my house. I stop my car, like I'm at the red light, and the truck behind me rams into the back of my car because I just went to my post-op appointment, had my seatbelt on.
What?
Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? And not only
Wait, why don't I remember this?
Yeah, I don't know because
Holy shit.
First of all, it hurt like a bitch, but second of all, I was pissed, you know? So the worst part about it is like I pull over and the guy was like, pull over. Because we're on like a main road in West Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to do stuff. So I pull over and he pulls up behind me, but I get out of my car to walk over to him and he takes off. So not only did he just hit me, then
Shut the fuck.
It was a hit and run. I was like, are you kidding me right now? And like I was about to chase him down. I remember calling my mom, like, what do I do? She's like, do not chase him because you don't know what this man is like capable of. You know,
True.
You don't know why they just like drove away from you. Probably didn't have insurance.
Yeah.
But I was so mad because like it hurt and then I had like paint off the back of my bumper. That's really all that happened. So it wasn't like too much cosmetic damage to my car. So I kind of just like.
But how fucking annoying.
But
diabolical.
In that moment, like I was just like really. I thought maybe something had happened, you know, because I'm like, oh my gosh, that hurt, you know.
Yeah.
It was fine, but it was not ideal.
Holy.
To say that.
I do not remember that, but holy shit.
Pissed. I was like, are you kidding me right now? I was just like.
Yeah. I'd be so irritated.
I was.
And do you remember when you first started working out again? Did you wait the full like 4 to 6 weeks or did you wait longer?
I don't even think I waited 4 weeks. I think that's probably why it felt so weird. I did go back to do lower body and I was like, I'll just like not concentrate on the upper body. And then eventually when I started doing little things and I started kind of incorporating that. But the same thing happened when I was 20. Before I did the first challenge, they actually found a tumor in my neck that I had to get removed. So I had surgery about 6 weeks before we left. And I was like, I think I had 4 weeks to actually train total. And I was like, I just got to go right back into it. I have no choice. I have to be ready for the show. So he was like, do not work out for 4 weeks. I'm like, okay, sure. Literally like 2 days later, I'm like on the treadmill walking. And then I'm like over there doing legs and stuff because I felt like I had to come prepared for this show. I can't walk in, but it was kind of the same thing. I just kind of
wait. This brings me back. You're bringing back so many memories. Do you remember that I just got my breast done and I went on that stupid ass TV show, Cannonball?
Called Wipeout?
Or no, it was a version of Wipeout, but it was called Cannonball, where they shoot you in. They shoot you into the fucking air. And you try to, why I said yes to this. Like I said, my little influencer era, I fucking can't. I just got my breasts done. I think I got them done in June because that's when I graduated nursing school. And I got hit up to do a little TV show. It was called Cannonball. It was like a little, try to win some money. It was like $10,000 you would win. And I was like, you know what? I just did Toyo. Like, let me go do this little show. And not thinking about it, they're shooting my ass up into the air over a fucking dirty ass lake. And I'm supposed to be like doing these type of challenges in the air. And I remember I had to find the tightest push-up bra because I got 400 cc's big old titties. And I was like, I do not need them like slapping me in the face or me getting an injury because I'm getting shot out of a fucking cannon. Like, I think it was like 3 months later.
No, this girl on the show, on the challenge, Svetlana, she had breast implants and they did the same thing. There was a challenge where they got shot out. She landed and popped her implants in another country because she hit so hard. So like that shit could happen. Like
absolutely not.
I thought about that when I was doing some of the challenges too, because like
I was terrified.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, wonder if I fall in this water weird. Like, oh, wonder if like, or I even remember like little things. Like I remember laying in bed right before I got pregnant, and I like sat up weird and I felt like I was like, why do I feel like my boob popped? I'm like, do you think it's leaking? Like,
oh my god.
Even though it can't, it's a gummy or whatever. So I'm like, why am I doing that? But weird little things can happen though. But that really could have fucked you up.
Yes, no, it could have fucked me up big time. But I was trying to win that 10K, girl. I was on a money grab but I was so stressed. Yeah, I got like the tightest bra. Like I was like, I just need to hold them together and hold me in. And if I land in the water, land on my ass or land on my feet. That was my only thought process. I made it 2 rounds and then I got kicked off. Yeah, this was the worst decision. I had like a whole watching party for it. I fucking can't.
Yeah, but that's like part of the experience. I mean, I know you're from California and obviously like LA area, but
yeah,
it's like the whole experience of being out there is the opportunities that you get. Like now that I don't live there anymore, I'm like, you just don't get them anywhere else. And it's like, you kind of take them and just live. You're in the moment and enjoy it all because like once you're not in that anymore and you are withdrawn from that world, you realize the opportunities don't really come to anybody else. Like they're really just where you are located. And like, I understand why you took it because it's like fun and
it was fun. It was an experience. It was an era. Definitely.
It was your influencer era.
It was my influencer era. I'm like, I tell people now, well, this is like not influencing. I feel like this is more educating. I have a profession.
This is perfect for you. I think you're good at talking. Like you're very educated in what you do and what you have done. And I think this is like the perfect platform for you.
So I'm like, I don't consider this being an influencer. I mean, back then I'm a retired influencer and now I'm a nurse just doing other journeys.
Yourself an online educator. That's what you are.
I'm an online educator. Okay. Add that to my resume. Now, to touch back on social media and influence, you've grown an amazing following on a total of all social media platforms. You have like 235,000 people who watch your shit and comment and share and know who you are.
Why? You know, like what, how, and why? But no.
Because look, you're Ashley Marie Kelsey. Why not?
I don't know. It's just like you look at yourself, like, why do people even care? I get it. Like, I feel like, especially on Snapchat at this point, that's like my one. I love Snapchat and Instagram, but I love Snapchat because you can be so free on there. You're just talking about whatever, and you're just like showing your day. It's like a big vlog. Like every day on there is just a big vlog of my day, and like people like that. And I feel like you can just be transparent over there and answer all the questions. Like, I feel like on Instagram when you do that in your stories, it just like suppress and algorithm pushes your, you know, your views down, down, and down. It's like nobody ends up seeing your shit. Like the days that I post one story, I'll get 20 to 30K views. The days I post two, it almost divides in half.
Oh my God.
And the more you do it, it's like, why do they do that to you? It makes it not fun. It makes you not really get into it. And that's why I love other platforms sometimes, because people are seeing your shit. Like people are following you and they're actually getting to hear you and talk to you. And like, you know what I mean? I just think it's great. And it's like, it's actually allowed me to open up. And that's why I recently started posting like my new series where I just like answer random questions that people ask me all the time.
I love that.
Because it's like my opportunity to start talking to the camera more, and like people are seeing my personality, and like it's going to parlay into like me being able to do more of that. But it's like my little start.
Yeah, and you know, people enjoy different social media platforms. Some people love YouTube more than they love Instagram. Some people love Instagram more than they love TikTok. Like, it's vice versa. So you're reaching multiple audiences on different social media platforms.
Yes,
and
I love it. I think it's really fun. And like I said, it's allowed me to stay home with my daughter. And I think it's such a blessing that I don't take advantage of it. And I just really try to hone in on like doing my best that I can on it, and like taking the opportunities that come my way. Like I said, I'm trying to kind of like adapt to how things are now, and like maybe like coming up with new series and like things that I see people really gravitating towards, like humor. People love the like funny reels I create, and like people love when I talk about being a millennial and an old ass like mom and stuff like that. Like, cause I am, and I'm just like, it's just people just want to relate to you, and like
definitely. And your content is very relatable. And I always tell people, we come from the side of social media where we posted a photo, we looked hot, and we kept it moving. And nowadays, you have to record yourself. You have to come up with content. You have to keep people entertained. It's so much harder nowadays than it was prior. It's crazy.
We used to just be like the hot girls on the internet that like we'd go take our outfits, go to like a fun little like landscape, go to the beach, take pictures, and it'd be like boom, 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 done for the week.
And you're done.
Not gonna do anything, and it just worked. And now it just doesn't work that way, which is actually like kind of a good thing, because I feel like that era was like boring. If you think about it, like it was just it's so unrealistic to like what our real lives were like. Like we weren't dressed like that
every day. We would do 6 looks in one day.
That's why it's kind of outdated, and people don't like it anymore, because it's like no one cares about the bikini pictures that you took on the beach. Like,
seriously.
You know what I mean?
Now,
sometimes every once in a while it's good. It's in the moment of what we're doing. You know what I mean? It's not us staging it to make it
seem
like that's what we're doing.
Yes. Now, do you feel pressure to look a certain way or maintain a certain image online? Does that ever affect you with being, you know, posting so much and being out there?
A little bit, but not really, to be honest with you. I think it's because I'm in like the mom genre, where it's like I am showing you sometimes my hot mess express like mom life, and like you know what I mean? And I feel like you do have to keep up with like not looking young, but like I don't know. It's like I say it doesn't really bother me, but then sometimes it does. I think like
of course.
Out, for me, it's like working out and getting my body back to where it was is kind of like the hard part. Like I don't really do all the things, like that's not my vibe, but like I do want to look like I used to. And I feel like looking back at my pictures and videos and seeing that, I'm like, oh, like I just can't get there again. Like, I don't know why. I don't know if it's just like the fact that I simply just don't have the time or the energy to like work out in the capacity that I used to. So like, and it just is what it is. Is it like 38, almost going on 39 at this point? Probably. Like, you know, things change. So it's like, I don't know, figuring it out.
And our bodies grow, evolve, change as we get older, all of us. Like, I feel like we all look back at photos and we're like, oh my God, like I thought I was big then, but I was snatched. Like, everyone goes through it.
Our pictures, Jalen, like me and Taylor talk about this all the time. They'll pop up in our memories, and I'm like, this is an unedited picture where we just took it. And I thought it was hideous at the time. Like, I was like, I would never post this.
Oh, you were so bad. Side note, I would take thousands of photos of Ashley for content. She'd be like, no. But I'm like, Ashley, they are good. And look at you, looking back on them now.
I used to want everything perfect back then way more than I do now. I don't care as much now. I don't know if it's my age. Like I said, I don't know if I'm getting older. I just don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I don't know if it's the fact that I'm a mom, and that's like my one goal in life was to like have that, and I have it now that I'm like, I don't care. You know, I'm not looking for anybody, I'm not out here trying to look good for anybody. I'm just like doing it for myself. So I'm just like, whatever makes me feel good, and when I feel my best, I'm like, that's all I need. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely. It's hard being on social media, but you upkeep yourself or where you get your hair done still. You still work out. You still do your makeup. It's not like you don't do anything. So you better give yourself credit where credit is due.
No, but I definitely need to push myself a little more. You know what I need to get back into? I feel like I need to be in a CrossFit class or something where like they're giving me a structured workout and they're like, let's go. You know
Why aren't you doing at least like reformer Pilates on the weekend? At least. Like it's so good. It tones you so good.
I know, but the problem with classes for me, especially because I am a single mother that has my daughter full time, is like I need to decide whether I'm going to get someone to watch her for me to do that or for me to get work done, you know, or for me to, like I have to like balance like when I, and also like I feel like more restricted when I'm in a class setting because they are specific times and else it's like, oh, I can just go to the gym like, hey, it's 10:30, like are you available? My dad lives like probably a minute from the gym, so I'll call him and he says yes and I go, you know. It's like,
yeah, it's easier for you.
Unfortunately, I don't feel like spending that type of money on myself now. Like it's weird.
And you have this issue. I know.
I've always been cheap, but I've always been very conservative. And
no, Ashley is very conservative. And Ashley you're a rich girl. I'm not going to put your business out there, but you can splurge on a $25 class, Ashley.
Someone called me a cheapskate on my Snapchat because I was talking about something. And the funny part is, like, I'm cheap when it comes to myself.
Yes.
Like, no, I just had shown, like, her whole Easter spread and, like, the fun stuff I did for her. And, yeah, it didn't cost me more than, like, maybe $100 total. But it was, like, a nice thing. And I did all this stuff. And I was like, and then you called me a cheapskate because I don't want to spend this on myself? I was like, I don't think I'm...
No matter if Ashley has $1 or $100,000, she's always going to be the same. No, I'm not going to buy this makeup palette because why is it $50? Ashley, you can afford...
about that yesterday. I was talking about how bronzer's $40 now. And I was like, bitch, what? Like, what did you go $40? Oh, that's crazy.
You are such an old soul. I fucking love it.
That's whatever.
And with me, I'm like, oh, it's this. I'm just throwing money out the damn window. Two opposites over here. But now let's talk about what is your favorite type of content to create? Do you like glam? Do you like motherhood, fitness, or like skincare? Like what's the easiest and funnest for you?
Because it's fucking relatable and people are like, bitch, I'm going through the same thing. And the best part about being relatable with others is you can connect with people that are feeling your same exact way. I was just talking about how Sheena from Vanderpump, I never watched that show until recently, which is crazy. It's been out for a gazillion years. She was talking about how she had postpartum OCD and I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm like, what is this? And she was describing exactly what I went through after having Snow. I was like, holy shit, like I didn't realize this was a thing. I just thought I was like an A-type personality bitch, which I'm not A-type. You're A-type. But you know what I mean?
I'm 100% A-type.
And I thought that was my thing, but it was because I had that. I 100%. I was the one who thought I could always do it better. No one else can. I'm going to do it because you're not going to wash up files properly. You're not going to clean the floor properly.
Yes.
It's a real thing. And I didn't even know about that. But that's the whole point of being relatable online is like you can reach all these people that feel the same exact way as you. And maybe that mom needed to hear that message that day. She was like going through it and I posted something. She's like, oh, thank God someone else feels the same way. And that's why
definitely.
I like
now, speaking on motherhood, as a mom, how do you navigate the conversation, you know, when Snow's older, she's young now, but around body image and like self-love at home?
Okay, so for me, I tell her she's beautiful every day. Obviously, we talk about how we love our hair, we love this, but we don't like talk solely like, I'm not like, Snow, you have to do this. You should love this about yourself. That just, it's a normal thing. I'm like, what do you love
natural.
About yourself, Snow? You know, my daughter tells me she loves her jewelry. And I said, why? She goes, because it makes me feel beautiful. I said, well, then girl, let's stack on those bracelets. You know what I mean?
I love that.
The other day I was like, do you like skirts or shorts better? She goes, I like skirts. I said, well, why? She goes, they make me feel fancy and I like to feel fancy. I was like, okay, girl,
oh, my little Snow.
She likes about herself and why she likes it. And I'm not like down her throat, like, you should like your curls because curly hair is the best. You know what I mean? Like, you know how there's a ton of books on it? Like, I don't emphasize that. I just say, like, your hair's beautiful, honey. I love it. I think you look so cute today. And she's like, I know, I look cute. It's
I love it.
Confidence about themselves and not being like, oh, this person has this. And I don't ever talk about other people. Like,
no, yes.
Overweight or, oh, this person's this way. Like, I do not talk about that. Like, I try not to talk negatively about myself because I feel like that's where she learns most about. Like, she's like,
100%.
Oh, mommy talks about how she needs to be skinnier or mommy talks about she hates this. I don't do that at all.
Good. I love that. I love that because kids pick up, well, if mommy hates her eyebrows or if mommy hates her nails, well, mine must be bad because mine, you know what I mean? Like they just,
The other day she went out with my mom in the morning and she was like, oh my gosh, I'm going out with Gigi. Like we need to paint my nails because I need to look so cute for her. And like, that's cute because she wanted to do it to look cute for her, but she wasn't like, oh, I just hate my hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has made me like, even with my nails, I'm like, I think I'm going to take these off because I just want Snow to be able to paint my nails when she wants to. And I can like take it off that night. You know, I don't care. But it just like, I don't know. I just think it is hard with little girls because she's not in school yet. She's not seeing other kids. She's not like in that capacity where they're talking about themselves and like putting themselves down or saying like you look different. She hasn't experienced that yet, so I don't know how I'll navigate that at that point because clearly Snow's mixed. She's going to be a little different than some of the kids that she's around, and like they're all going to talk about it however they want to. I can't control that, but all I can control is her being. I told her this is one thing I did tell her. So kids are very honest. I remember we were at Starbucks one day. And there was a very overweight woman, and she had like a crop top on, so her belly was out, whatever. And Snow goes, "Oh my gosh, mommy, that woman has a big belly." And like, what are you gonna do?
She's speaking facts. Yeah, I mean,
I'm like 2.5. I said, "Okay, well, Snow, listen, when you want to tell mommy something, like, let's just talk quietly and come over and tell mommy. And I said, but listen, why don't we do this instead? When you see someone that looks different, I'm like, why don't you find something that you can compliment them? Like, I don't care what it is. I don't care if you like their hair, you think they have a cool jacket on, like you like their nails. I was like, give them a compliment. Don't point out what you think is different. And so now she like will see someone, she's like, I just love your hair. Oh, your jacket is so beautiful. So I'm teaching her.
I love that.
You know,
she's a girl's girl. She is supportive. I love that.
Girl's girl for sure. And she is like, naturally, she kind of just like, is the sweetest kind of soul, which is, I love about her so much. So it's like nice that like, we have to teach them. They're so young.
You have to. Yeah. No, Snow's definitely going to grow up an icon. She's already is. She's so smart for her age. She's so advanced. She's so kind, so self-aware, but that's how you are too. So it's like, it makes sense. So I love it. Like she's going to be too smart for the both of us when she's older. I swear.
Yeah. Yep. And she's such a critical thinker. Normally if you tell a little kid, especially like a 3-year-old, no, they get all huffy puffy, mad or upset. Like Snow goes, okay, so mommy, if we do it this way, like she tries to figure out which avenue is going to get her way. Not like she's already thinking like that. It's not like, oh, I'm upset that my mom said no. You know, she's like, yeah, listen, let's talk about this.
I love that. She's like, let's sit down and let's figure out a yes way. I love that. Now, this is a tough question, but you have such good input on everything. And you're the only mom I've asked this. What would you be open to your daughter getting plastic surgery in the future if that's something that she wanted? Yes or no? And it could be a rhinoplasty. It could be a breast aug. It could be an eyebrow lift. It could be simple. But what is your thought process?
I would say to her this. I'd be like, listen, I'll give you an example of her. I just talked about this recently. Piercing her ears. A lot of people pierce their baby's ears when they come out the womb, like literally 2 weeks old. I didn't do that because I decided it was something I wanted her to choose on her own. Like if she comes to me in a year from now and says, "Mommy, I want to get my ears pierced," I'll say, "Cool, let's go together and make it a moment." You know what I mean? Like let's
love it.
So that's kind of my attitude towards her. Now, can she do anything to herself until she's older? Absolutely not. Because I used to want like my belly button pierced for like 5 years of my life. I've never gotten it done as an adult. Like I would never. You know what I mean? So like there are decisions you have to make for your children until they are of legal age, if not a little older, that they're just like absolutely not. Like pump the brakes. We'll talk about this in the future. But if she sat there and thought about it for a while and it was something that she felt was going to bring her confidence and she was going to do it in a natural way, I would definitely be there for her because I would rather be there for her and support what she's doing rather than like fight her on it and then she never wants to tell me anything or she doesn't
or do it behind your back.
Yeah, or whatever. Because like then it's like God, she'll go to like a shitty person. You know, I want to like actually be able to like find a good doctor with her, review, go talk about all the options, talk about the cons. You know, like young adults don't think about the consequences. Like what if something goes wrong? Like what if you don't like it? This is
exactly
something that, you can reverse, but you're not going to look the same afterwards. So like let's just think about all of it, and I think that's how I'll handle it with her.
I mean, you can't stay until you get there. You have a while to go. I think that's already a good mindset that you're in, just, you know, for the future.
Yeah.
You and Snow are very close, and Snow talks to you about everything, and I'm sure she's going to continue to. You won't have any trouble navigating that. She's going to be so open with you and honest that.
I hope so. That's the environment.
I think she's going to be too. She's going to be too smart for you.
She wants to talk to me, but there's also a little fear there. Like not when she wants to talk to me, but like if she does something like, oh gosh, like I don't want to test mommy. I want mommy to love me, and I want to be able to communicate with her. But I know she's going to be really mad at me right now. So like, you know, because you do want them to respect you, and I think respect comes a little bit of like being. Gotta
put your foot down just a little bit.
Like you can't be a pushover. You can't be that. And I always thought I'd be the mom that'd be such a pushover, and like, but I'm not. Like I'm like, no.
You create good, healthy boundaries for sure, and you explain yourself. And one thing I did notice with you, like just being around you and Snow, you talk to Snow like she is an adult. You don't baby her. You don't baby talk. Like you are loving, but you talk to her like, hey, Snow, I think that we should do X, Y, and Z. And even in the videos where you two are in the car and she's talking back to you, I'm like, holy shit, Snow is talking like she's like 13 right now. Like, she's like, yeah, mommy, I think. I'm like, what? But literally she talks like a little adult, and it's like you learn from what you're around, and she is learning from you, and I love it. It's so beautiful to see.
Yeah, I mean, when I go places with her and we're around kids her age, like they're just so, the parents are like, oh my gosh, she speaks so well. She's used, like her vocabulary is like so advanced. I said, well, she's always around me and she's always around adults. So I feel like that plays a little bit of a part, you know what I mean? And honestly, it is the way that you kind of talk to them. I haven't really babied her. Like when she was a little baby, I'd be like, I love you, you know, whatever. But I always give her options. I think that's one really good thing that I do is like, even with her clothes, I'm like, do you want to wear this, or this? What are we going to do? Say when it comes to dinner, I'm like, girl, what are we going to have for dinner tonight? Like, are you in the mood for chicken, beef, steak? Because I'm not about to make this whole meal and not have her eat it. So like I include her in all my decisions, which I know some parents have a different style with that, and that's completely fine. I'm not here to like bash anybody's parenting. I think it's great. I was raised where it's like, this is the food, this is what you eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think I just like to have her like opinion on things, you know, so she knows she can voice it.
Now, what message do you hope your daughter takes away from your journey, both in spotlight and also with self-enhancement?
Okay, so when it comes to like the things that I've done in life, I just want her to know that like whatever she wants, it doesn't have to be in television, it doesn't have to be like something big. It can be whatever. She could literally go to the Congo and be like, I'm in a stir. I don't care. I don't care what she wants to do. You know what I mean?
Not
but,
the
like,
Congo.
Just do what you want to do. I do not want her to ever feel like she has to do something because of X, Y, and Z.
my biggest pet peeve is when people see her, 'cause she is tall and are like, and obviously she's mixed. They're like, oh my gosh, you're tall. You should play basketball. Like, you got to be a basketball player or you got to be a volleyball player. I'm like, why? Because she's tall? Like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like those stereotypes. I want her to do what she wants in life because life is very short. And you realize that with age and time that you're like, don't spend it doing something to please somebody else. Like, do something that's going to benefit, like enhance your life. And that's something you're passionate about and good at, because like at the end of the day, you have to enjoy your whole life. And like, if you're doing something just because you're trying to make someone else happy, like you're gonna be miserable. Like,
of course. Yeah. And she loves playing doctor, and I see her with a little stethoscope, and I'm like, it's a long path, but if that's what Snow wants to do, girl.
Well, what's funny is like when we were pregnant, her dad would always be like, we thought we were having a boy at first. We're like, we don't want him to play football, like, which is crazy because her dad played football and you would think he'd want it. He's like, no, I just don't want that. And like, we kind of almost manifested. We're like, oh, I mean, if she wanted to be a doctor, like we kept saying like doctor. I don't know why. Manifestation, I truly believe in, but I've always said like, we just said that out loud so many times. And like, she does gravitate towards that. But you want to hear what she says when you ask her what she wants to be? She says, I want to be a firefighter. I'm always like, Snow. And I ask her like once a week, I'm like, what do you want to be when you get older? And she says it every single time, I want to be a firefighter. I said, well, why do you want to be a firefighter? Because I want to put out fires and I want to help people. And I said, can't we help people in like a less dangerous way? But that's what she says. And I know kids change their mind all the time. I just never expected her to say that. Like her dad was shook the first time. He was like, what?
She's definitely going to be in some type of, whether it's a nurse, a doctor, a firefighter, a first responder.
Yeah, she loves that.
She's going to be something with helping people and using her brain for good.
For sure.
Shoot, Snow, go be a surgeon. We need more surgeons out there, and she could definitely do it. And
you know what else she really likes? She really enjoys science. She loves science.
Yeah, maybe she'll be a scientist. Maybe she'll do research. It's going to be something in that area, I feel like, definitely.
Yeah, she definitely gravitates towards that. Like the other day, keep in mind, guys, she's 3. She says to her best friend, she goes, I don't like playing with toys anymore. I said, you're 3. What do you mean you don't like playing with toys anymore? What are we doing then? You know, and she's like, much rather be doing arts and crafts, setting up science experiments. Like that's her vibe. Like she is definitely like, into all the hands-on stuff rather than like, she's not going to sit there and like play like, hi, I'm this for like, that's not at all.
I love that. Yeah. Now to wrap it up, what's something people would never guess about you from Instagram or TV?
I am so boring. Like it's like not even funny. No, actually they would guess that because that's what people constantly tell me about TV. Oh gosh, she's so boring. Like because I'm not like in the drama, you know what I mean? Or I'm not like sleeping with every person on the show or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just like, I am a very simple person. Like, I don't know if that comes off like that to you. Like, you obviously know me, but like, I live such a simple life and it makes me so happy. Like, and I truly think that like nothing materialistic impresses me or like, I don't want anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just like who I am at my core. Like, there was times where I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not. Let me try it out. Let me dabble a little bit. I'm like, and now this brings me no joy.
Even though you're on social media and you're on TV, like you are very simple, which is hard to find nowadays. Everyone, you know, is trying to live an extravagant life and be an it girl, but you are just supernatural and that's not bad at all.
I think
but you're still very outspoken.
In on it more. I'm honing into like who I truly am. And I think that's why it's working more than like in the past where I was like, oh, I need to look this way or present myself in this way. And like, oh, I want to be like this person when I truly never did. I mean, like, but obviously that's just growing up and like learning over the years. But yeah. I'm happy.
I love that. And if you can go back and tell your 25-year-old self one thing about beauty, confidence, or life in general, what would you tell it? Tell whatever. What would it be?
It's going to be very, very specific, but very interesting because I feel like growing up without, like my dad's been in my life my whole life, but like my parents were divorced very early on. So I had no example of love. Like it wasn't like I watched 2 people loving and like, you know, I feel like I just liked attention from guys. Like whether I liked them or not, it was like an attention thing. It was like, you're going to like me. Oh, you're going to like me. And I didn't even like them. I didn't even like them half the time. You know, I wish I was never like that. I never focused on, I would tell myself, don't focus on men like whatsoever. Like focus on your own personal goals, like focus on like what you're trying to do, who you want to be, and like what you want to bring to this world and like not care about that at all. Because it's not that I like dated a lot of people, you know, or like hooked up with a lot of people. It was nothing like that. I feel like for me, it was like I was attached to certain people. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Nobody else is going to know that I didn't need to be for as long as I was because I was hooked on that of like, I need you to want me. Like I need you to still want me. Why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I would just tell myself like, cut out that shit. Like, don't worry about that. Like, don't focus on that at all.
Especially being, you know, so in your early 20s, it's like, there's so much life to live that it's too much life to live to be worrying about 20-year-old boyfriend. But I know, like I said, easier said than done because we all go through it.
I don't
we all go through it.
Regret anything. It's all led me to. I swear, if nothing ever happened the way it did, I would not have my daughter. So I don't care about anything. Like I'm like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be in life. So like, here we are, you know. But
yes,
yeah. I would just advise
It's
for
all-
anybody. Like, I think a lot of women are like that now. They're more so honing in on their own careers and like desires and wants, and that's good. Like, and also though, I do want to put out there, like, it's okay to have a simple life and want a family life, and that be like your goals too. Like, a lot of people think like I have to have all these big goals and I have to do these things and I have to be the working mom with this. No, you don't. Like, if you just want to be a mom and you want to have a family and that's like your goal in life, great. Like, just find the right person that wants those things too. You know, like, don't be trying to date the guy that's like out there, like, you know, out in the streets. Like, that ain't gonna work for you.
It's not. It's not. And last but not least, dream surgery or treatment you haven't done yet, or would love to try. It could be filler, it could be Botox, it could be whatever, or it could be nothing. Is there anything that you've been like, oh, that, you know, maybe I would want to try that, or
with my face,
what?
I don't desire anything. I've never been like, I want anything on my face. I do think I'm going to get my boobs redone.
Okay. And when are we looking at that?
Would make me either that or I'm going to get them completely removed. I know they're two extreme differences, but I'm like, either I'm going to get new ones that I love and like that I'm more secure with because I don't like necessarily love exactly how they are now, or it's like, goodbye. Like, one of the two. Like, it's going to be very extreme for me. But I think it'll be more than something that's just going to like, you know, I'm going to have to get them redone in 10 years anyway. So it's like, I'll do it a little earlier, you know, get them like exactly where I want them, because I know for me personally, I'm not having any more kids. So it's like, this is the time, you know, I'm still young. I can still do it. And I don't have to wait. You know, I would say to people that are going to have more kids, like, wait it out. Like, don't do that because you're gonna have to do it again. But for me, I think it'd be a smart idea to get new ones. And I'm gonna call you up and be like, Jalen, come be my nurse.
I'm gonna be like, okay, we're getting content and I'll be your nurse.
But girl, I feel like I'm so much more anxious about it this time around because I think of the scary things that could happen, you know, with like having a child, you know, so that makes me scared.
And it's so weird. Got it. Yes, and yes. Because whenever you do something for the second time, you are so much more aware of what it entails, what's going on, what the recovery process. When you do something for the first time, no matter what it is, but specifically plastic surgery, you're a little ignorant. You don't know much. Yeah, you did your research. You don't know all it entails. You're scared. But it's your first time. But when you do something for a second time, it's almost like you're shitting bricks more. It hits you harder. And weird. I swear it's like that for everybody.
Yeah. I think it's even like what people say their second kid is like, you know what birth's like this time. You're like, fuck, it was almost easier the first time not knowing. You know? And it's the same thing with surgery. It's like not knowing what's going to happen. It's like, okay, I remember getting out of surgery and like my throat was killing me. I'm like, what the fuck? Why does my throat hurt? Because that stupid pipe. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that was going to be a thing at all. Like, it's just like, now you know that's like what's going to happen. But I also think you can prepare yourself. For me, it's more of the stress of like, okay, I have a child that I have to pick up and take care of. And like, I know that you can't pick things up, but she's not going to understand that. And then right now she doesn't know I have boobs. She just thinks I have regular boobs. She doesn't know, like, will she know? Like, if I just had surgery, would I even, you know, it's a lot more to it. Makes me nervous. I wouldn't want, God forbid, I wouldn't want anything to happen to me. I swear to God, when Jalen told me like her past job was to like take care of people post surgery, I didn't know that was even a thing. And I would 100% suggest people to pay for that because it just puts you in the best care to make sure that you're okay and that nothing could happen. You know, I mean, obviously you can't protect yourself 100%, but it definitely puts you in a better place with having a nurse right there and available to help you. So I do think that that's a service that is like amazing. And I would want that for sure this time around. Not just sitting in my bed at home, like with my friends, you know, I would definitely want to recover the proper way.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Ash, you gave so much great info and great insight, and I love you so much.
I'm so happy I got to come up.
No, I don't like to bother my friends. I know everyone's busy and you guys have life going on. So when you came to me and you're like, oh, I should come on the pod, I was like, oh, I was so happy.
Now you got Taylor on and she would totally do it.
I just hate to bug you guys. I know. I talked to her because I was like, oh, Ash is coming on the pod. She's like, oh, I would love to come on soon. I was like, I don't want to bug you guys. You guys are moms.
But I get that because I feel like even sometimes when I want things, I'm like, oh gosh, I don't want to ask this person, but like that's what you have friends for. You know what I mean? Yeah. And at the end of the day, like we want to do this. It's like fun having a conversation with your friend. Like this is like just us catching up and talking. And it's like,
I know. And this
so much
episode, it was so much more relaxed. I know you so I loved it and it was so great and I appreciate you. Well, if you guys want to hit up Ashley, follow along for her content. She's so consistent on social media. She's so relatable, all her mom content, all the humor, and she throws some beauty in there too. Definitely check her out. We'll be tagging her on our post on our Instagram so you guys can head over there. But once again, thank you, Ashley. I love you so much.
And thank you for having me.
Of course. And we will chat with you guys next week with the all new pod episode. Thank you. Bye.